glad you brought some to share.
Yeah. Just
I'd like to bring the meeting to order for the Finance, Property and Supply Committee. This is a meeting of the Littlestown Area School Board of School Directors. This is a live in-person meeting open to the public in accordance with the Sunshine Act. By participating in this meeting, you are consenting to the recording, retention, and future viewing of this meeting.
Brian Boyer.
Here.
Nick Lovell.
Here.
Stephen here.
Here. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance and roll the silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We now recognize the members of the public who have signed up to provide comment as stipulated in policy 903. When your name is called, please approach the podium and state your name. Confirm that you are a resident or a taxpayer in the district. Topic of discussion to the record. Please direct your comments to the board as a whole and not to the individual. We ask that you limit your comments to 5 minutes or less. The privilege to speak may be interrupted, revoked, or recessed of the meeting will be called by the chair if the speaker does not observe reasonable decorum and orderly conduct. Thank you. Suzanne Johnson.
I'm Suzanne Johnson. As you all know, I'm a resident taxpayer and my daughter attends school in this district. At last month's finance meeting, I was extremely concerned after hearing the athletic fields project request with cost estimates between $765,000 to over $1.1 million. At the meeting, administration noted that this could be mostly funded by the expected $725,000 in proceeds that was burning a hole in their pocket from the sale of district properties. While I agree that there are significant baseball and softball field needs, I am concerned that the scope of these projects has ballooned exponentially from what was estimated to be about $55,000 in the capital project plan. Further, it's concerning that the cost of the athletic fields project will be significantly more than what we're investing in our future with the ACTI building, which is a total of $540,000 over 3 years. I sincerely hope the administration and school board examine the feasibility study closer to really reassess what are needs versus wants. That seems to be a challenge in this district. And what you're asking of our community, I believe these projects would be good opportunities, as I've mentioned before, to work with the Thunderbolt Foundation to identify naming rights agreements to limit the impact on the taxpayers. With residents already struggling to pay for your previous tax increases, the ACT, for the building project, our building project, and the ACTI one, and the significant water and sewer rate increases our community has faced, it is reasonable to expect proceeds from this district's land sales to ease the tax burden instead of being immediately spent on further costly projects. At last month's regular board meeting, the board approved the transfer of an administrative assistant that had been split between athletics and maintenance to be a full-time maintenance administrative assistant. There was a request for $21,000 per year for a new part-time position for an athletics administrative assistant, but administration indicated that they need to find funding in the budget for this. There's already been concerns about the void that this has left in the athletics department and the impact to other staff being stretched thin to try to cover the void. This seems to be an urgent problem as the fall season nears completion and they are trying to prepare for the winter season. Now turning to one of my favorite topics, food service funds agenda item. As in the prior years, there's likely to be an excessive surplus, which would mean that we need a plan to submit to the Pennsylvania Department of Education, PDE, regarding spending of this surplus on things such as cafeteria equipment. In April, this committee discussed negative balances in student meal accounts. However, despite some families struggling to pay their student lunch accounts, it is important to note that overall the district has been has seen budgetary surpluses in the cafeteria account for years due to the sale of a la carte items to our students, which is very limited for the elementary students, so people complain about the elementary school food.
I'm sorry, I think you I'm sorry.
That's not 5 minutes. That's 3 or 2.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay. Which is very, so this is like a built-in fundraiser with the students making the spending decisions at the expense of their families. I understand the regulations prevent applying food service surplus to the negative student account balances, but when families are struggling to pay the negative meal account, are these being sent to collections again this year? How effective has that been in collecting funds? Has this been an effective means to change the total amount of negative balances each year? If sending struggling families to collection isn't effective, then other alternatives need to be explored. I have to reiterate again, we have a lot of struggle in this community. Finally, I want to bring attention to a community concern regarding fumes from the construction project that has impacted our high school students, teachers, and staff that are in the building. Severe headaches and other related symptoms have been reported, in addition to our long-standing issues in the middle school, which has also had ongoing health concerns. When these building conditions contribute to excessive absences, have you considered that on extremely bad days to implement flexible instruction days? Because how much learning is really happening when you jam everybody into the gym or they are going home sick? I know there are limits on FID days, but the Pennsylvania Department of Education could grant a waiver if the district requests and provides reasonable justification. We're all looking forward to the completion of the building project, but until then, we need to do the absolute best we can for our students, teachers, and staff. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and I do apologize for the problem.
Thank you.
Okay.
So we'll jump into the financial presentation portion. So as stated on the agenda, we're going to break it down into several categories, which will span capital projects. We'll touch on the Act 1 index. We'll get into some food service and some staffing changes. So as part of the presentation for this week, or this month, we'll do the capital projects, which I've broken down into 3 categories. The 3 categories is facility requests. So this is a typical request that we've been asked for the past several years. This follows that 10-year capital project list. This is something that we've always requested. What's unique this year is the athletic feasibility would be lumped into this capital projects. That was per request of this committee and some of the other board members to pursue what it would take to upgrade our athletic spaces. And then I just want to note on some facility improvement grants that we competitively submitted grants for, that we will have some information on that as well. That any of those grant approvals or denials will affect our future thinking of capital projects. So to jump into the facility requests here. So these are the asks. Victor, myself, and Dr. Mitchell sat and we reviewed the 10-year plan of what was upcoming, and these were the requests that made it forward to make it to this committee. The committee now has the opportunity to review or ask questions of this list and can move forward all or portions of the list to the full board to be approved. So as always, I'll just run down through the list. The first line item is just a general maintenance, just for general repair. It's just a general line item to address any repairs with general maintenance repairs for the buildings. So the next one would be the Blue Gym sound system. The Blue Gym, if we know, is the newest portion of the gym at the high school. That has a sound system that is now outdated. That was the original sound system. The speakers are kind of going bad, the microphone is going bad, the mixer is now outdated and cannot be fixed and replaced. So it's been recommended from a company that came out to just replace the whole system. That whole system will cost us $50,000 to replace that whole sound system within the Blue Gym. The next thing is the key system throughout the high school. So within the project, I'll just say that 2/3 of the building is going to be placed on a certain key system that will be linked up here with ACES. And the other third is going to be on a different key system which has multiple keys. So this would then streamline our keying system and be able to just have 1 to 2 keys throughout the district, where now Victor, I would say, has a giant key ring that will go away. So that just kind of streamlines who has access and how ease of access we can get within the building. So that's just a request that's not within the project, to be able to do the spaces, the door systems that are not included there, to just kind of do the whole building door access. The next one is the Petromat, and the Petromat would be here at ACES. What a Petromat is it keeps existing blacktop surfaces, it lays down a different fabric, and then repaves on top of it. What the spaces we're requesting is, as in the previous request a couple years ago, was to do here at the bus loop and the district office parking lot out here to resurface it. If you notice, we've had patches here for several years. This has been a request for, I think, 2 or 3 years, and this is another opportunity for us to look at it. Now the need becoming more upfront because the patches are getting more and more pieces are breaking away. So this is the recommendation to do, just do the whole lot again. So I'll just remind everybody, last year with the previous FP&S committee was they paused on that to see if economy of scale within the project. We can certainly opportunity to do that here again as well. So that's why it's also again an opportunity to do this. The next thing is the purchase and install new carpet here for district office. Now it does say district office here. This is the original carpet, but there's other spaces within ACES and conference rooms and subsequent areas that would get new carpet, but the majority was here at district office. That's why it's labeled as such. But it has original carpet and it's getting some wear and tear. There's some kind of in place. As I mentioned, I think on our walkthrough, there's going to be seal coating at the baseball lot. That's the lot directly across from the middle school. That just would need resealed and relined. And then, as what we also talked through, that the walkthrough was looking at the mulch situation at the stadium and installing a rubberized surface there. So any questions on what the facility requests are within these asks? So there's an opportunity, I guess, to...
Yeah, so I'll start with the Petromat, and Victor might be the one to ask about this. So, what exactly, so you said it's putting something down on top and then repaving, so what's the middle layer?
Yeah, it's a membrane that's put down on top of the existing blacktop to prevent the existing cracks from coming through. So this process was done in the stadium parking lot. The old Rolling Acres parking lot remained, had several cracks in. We used the Petromat put down within the project, and they put blacktop over top of it, and we have 0 cracks coming through. It seems to hold up really well. As you can see with our parking lot here, it's a lot of spider cracks, and it just keeps breaking up every year. I end up spending $10,000, $15,000 to start patching blacktop that's just falling apart.
So it would be the bus loop and then this lot back here?
Correct.
And would be for the other?
That's been somewhat newer.
The majority of that was new in 2017 when we did the project.
No, that was one question.
So, if I can speak, if you don't use the Petromat, then the other option would be to dig it all out and redo the whole thing, which is obviously much more costly. This is a less expensive option than digging the whole base and everything out.
So, Victor, can you say that the lot is deteriorated like faster because what's happening with it? It seems like it's becoming more and more apparent, more and more repairs. It's, we're throwing money at just repairing it.
Yes, every year it keeps spreading, every year it keeps doing repairs.
And it's getting worse.
There's no sign that it's going to stop. Every year it's just new. And, depends on the winter. What type of winter we have to how fast it goes. With the freezing and thaw, we have a lot of trucks coming in there, delivery food service. We've got garbage trucks. So, yeah, it just keeps deteriorating. I don't see that it's going to stop.
And how much does that Petromat part cost in relationship to the $197,000 to $200,000 figure? Because that includes the.
I don't have it
surface.
broken down, I just have an estimate for total, I mean, what has to go.
So in other words, this design presented, it has to be intact, mat, and overlay, so that, you know, it can function as advertised.
Right, to use the remaining existing blacktop, you would want to put the Petra mat over top. You wouldn't want to come in and just recoat the existing parking lot, the cracks will break through the new coat you want to put on top. So the Petra mat keeps the cracks from breaking through to the top layer. And they come in, they spray it with the tar, they roll this out, looks like landscaping material basically, and then you tar over top and then you lay the blacktop on top of it. And like I said, we've done that in the stadium parking lot, that was Rolling Acres parking lot was there for since I've been here. And we've had good success over there. I have no reason to believe it wouldn't be the same.
So this is going to be the ask for me is what is the committee going to recommend for full board approval at October? So this is the list as presented. Didn't hear too many questions in opposition, so this is an opportunity then to, what's the recommendation of the committee?
And so is the carpet, I'm sorry, Tom.
Yeah, go ahead.
So is the carpet, is it wearing through? I mean, is it that bad, or what?
There are
something
sections
else?
that are being worn through. Some sections are really faded, some are really stained. But it's just getting a lot of foot traffic through district office, so it's just getting really worn down.
Is it a safety issue?
About 20 years old. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's original carpet to the original Alloway Creek building.
Gotcha, thank you.
So it's going to be that,
It's not a must-do, but it's a request of us to have it done.
I mean, can we make it last a little longer?
That's some of the direction that the
Yeah,
committee
so-
can give.
I'm sorry, Tom.
Yeah, no, you good.
I was just asking about the key
Wait,
system.
I was gonna
If it
ask
will,
you.
if it will work with the new key system that goes in.
Yes, it would mirror the exact same key system here at ACES, would then funnel into the high school. This would be the only section that would have a unique key system to itself. This would match all the existing, so our keys would be a district-wide key system. Right now, we're kind of sporadic between the current middle school, what's at the high school, what's going to be done within the project, and what's here at ACES. We have almost 4 unique key systems, which would then go down to 1.
So is this a safety issue also? Like, you know, to have the keys to the point where, you know, access quick, not fumble, you know, I mean, it seems like it's a.
So it's
it
a
could be
key
a
card, it's a key card system, or?
No, all the exterior doors in the project will have a swipe card that we use our IDs for to get in.
Right.
These are the interior doors, so
Oh.
not the entire building was in the project to have everything redone. So as you know, there was bits and pieces that we didn't have the budget to do. So this would let us, with one key system at the high school, which would match Alloway Creek when Maple Avenue goes away, basically one key system for both buildings. If we don't, if the high school currently has 2 different master key systems, and they're in disarray, quite honestly. It really is in need of an upgrade, but we didn't put it in the original project because of the bidding restraints. So this is an ask to try to get all one key system up there, which will help our current key situation.
How much of this do you all want to move forward?
And, you know, the sound system, that's for the whole gym, that's the entire gym.
Yes.
Didn't we have a similar bid for this room? I mean, seriously, wasn't it about the same amount? I'm a little confused about that.
The sound system?
Yeah, I'm trying to recall when we were talking about putting a new sound system in here, it came back.
We had a 30-some, we had a 52, and like an 80.
Some of that's individual microphones and some of the nuances we needed for this room versus this is just like a speaker system, one microphone.
Oh,
Makes it.
okay, thanks for, because how
So there's some,
man.
I would say there's some differences of what the request was for this space versus what the
Right.
request is for that space.
Okay, I figured it was, thanks for explaining.
Well, anybody, I mean, that's a shot. I mean, you can hardly, it's not very
Sporadic
pleasant to
and-
hear the announcer, and, yeah, I know they have trouble playing music through the speakers, and
So when we had, Victor had a vendor come out and assess if it could be repaired, and he said it's complete. Well, it's that old that they don't really make the system or repair it anymore. So it's that outdated, so he just recommended that it's gonna be more cost effective just to replace the whole system than to try to repair existing.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay. So